Assalamualaikum and very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Khairi Kwan bin Kamaruddin and I will be your MC today. Today is a special day that have you been waiting for. But before we start, I would like to introduce our panelists today, which are Dr. Izzuddin, Prof. Asri, and Dato' Amir. The title for our forum today is Education in Malaysia. This is the worsening crisis. Before we start, our three panelists will introduce themselves. Hello, Dr. Izzuddin. How are you today?
Hello, Kai. I have never been better than before. By the way, thank you for inviting me for this exciting forum. I cannot wait to get started.
Mine neither. How about you, Prof. Asri?
I'm actually thrilled about this topic, Mr. Kai.
How about our Deputy Minister of Education?
It is such an honor to be here and talk about our education in Malaysia.
Everyone seems to be excited here, so shall we start?
Yes, of course.
Today our topic will be about the education in Malaysia, right? So it is getting better it is getting better or worse. Despite millions of ringgit spent to improve the system, the education standard has been going downhill. It seems that with each passing year, there are advancements in the field of science, math, technology, and mostly everything else. Unfortunately, with each passing year, it also seems like Malaysian students are getting duller. But is their fault? Dr. Izzuddin?
The answer to that question is why. Why the education has been going downhill. Students are not robots. They are forced to focus to get straight A's in UPSR, PT3, or SPM. That is how they study. By the way, I do not agree with the education system here. I have studied in Spain for 7 years, from primary until secondary 1 school. But when I returned to Malaysia, I was shocked.
Why were you shocked?
Okay, in Europe, in kindergarten, the kids are taught how to self-management. Then in primary, the teachers taught us to explore the environment so that they can teach us. That is the beginning to search for our passion, which then are taught in secondary. So when I was in secondary, we do not have classroom for our class like in Malaysia, but we are taught to go to different classes because of different subjects.
Oh, I see. Why students in Europe does not have their own classroom like Malaysia?
Good question, Kai. So the students are trying to teach. They are trying to teach the student how the university works before they went there.
This is brilliant idea. What they have done to the student. Before we continue with Dr. Izzuddin speak, I would like to ask some question to Dato' Amir. Do you like to be your own classroom or around become different subject?
Of course, I want to walk around. I hate being stuck in the classroom and just wait for the teachers to arrive. If we apply this system, it would help not only the student but the teachers too. Why? Time is gold. They should apply where the teachers have their own classroom, like class for math or English, just like in the university.
You are right about that. There should just be a classroom of subject where the teachers does not have to got different classes, taking up the stress and then grow down. It will fire for them. Student does not when get tired become they are still young. So we proceed, Dr. Izzuddin.
Okay, so when they enter the world of for university, they need to plan their future career, which will make them easier to adapt because they are familiar with the process since kindergarten. So lastly, when entering the university, they are exposed to hard and soft skills development. So meanwhile in Malaysia, from kindergarten until pre-university, they have two things in their mind, which is study and final exam. So in Malaysia, when entering the university, I do not want the education are torturing us, but instead the students are forced to know self-management, explore the environment, finding passion, future career plan, and hard and soft skill development. Can you believe it? 5 in 1 just went to university. That is why our education is going downhill, and I feel pity towards our X and Y generation nowadays.
I agree with you, Tatiuc. This is why most of our graduate students are employed due to there are no improvement in their way of thinking, and did not even have a high level of self-confidence with their self. Am I right, Dr. Izzuddin?
Yeah, you're right, true indeed.
So now, how about further our discussion with your own thought about topic, Prof. Asri?
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Mr. Kai. Alright then, so as we all know, it is always one of the most disrupting topics when we are talking about our young generation, which is the student, of course. Okay, we kept thinking, what did they learn at school today? Did my children do well at school? Honestly, if I am a teacher, in order to maintain my good reputation as a good teacher, I would say they do just fine. But listen carefully. This is the best part, okay? Did most of us ask to ourselves, did our children do well in their life? I mean, how can they survive in the future of their own, on their own, sorry? With the worrying economic state, just think about it. Maybe one day they cannot even find a job.
Wow, I never realized about that. It makes me more concerned why you say it that way.
This worries me neither, my friend. You know why? Students in Malaysia are barely taught to be creative. That is why. They are taught about facts and not real things that implies in life. Okay, most of the teachers, I repeat, okay, most, they just want to finish doing their job and go home. That is all they care about. But what they do not realize is students are not being progressive. They only teach what they got in their syllabus.
So you are saying that most of the teachers in Malaysia inexperienced, or do you have agree, Dr. Izzuddin?
Well, not inexperienced, but they are straightforward in their teaching. The lesson that students need to be taught are not just what contains in the book, but also in their life as well.
Does that mean the teachers are the one of to be blamed?
Okay, practically teachers are not the one to be blamed, but it's their superior who did not feel any responsible for the progressive learning of students in Malaysia.
Hello, I am the Deputy Minister of Education, and I am still here, okay?
Sorry, no offense, but this is the truth. But that not just it. Most of the teachers did not even give any aids on helping the students at being creative. For such, showing pictures to them. This leads to students get bored of what they learn and at the same time cannot be creative. This is why the learning stops when they are at home. We must change this at once. Okay? At once. I repeat, at once. That's 3 times. For our students' future, just think about them. I hope that the Ministry of Education can do something about it. Maybe at least trying to change the way of our students learning to be at the same level of European students.
Thank you, Bro Asri. No wonder you become a prof.
Thank you.
Every word you spoke are very true indeed. So let us not leave our discussion hanging. Let us listen to what the Deputy of Education, what will he say about our topic. Dato' Amin, can you give explanation why the education in Malaysia are worsening?
Thank you, Mr. Kai. As you can see, our minister sometimes can be ridiculous. They use the budget to go to Sweden to monitor their education system. When they went back to Malaysia, they did not apply their system, but instead they changed the format. For example, PMR becomes PT3. When they change the format of the exam, the teachers and the students will become confused and chaos. This will make them more stressed since the Minister of Education keep changing the system. So, what is the use of going to Sweden if they did not apply here? I just do not understand what our minister are trying to do with the system. Are they trying to mess up or stand there just watching the student keep studying until for their final exam? They are just like zombies. Zombies have only one thing on their mind, which is brain. In here, students just think about study, and study. You just have to study smart, not hard.
So, Dato' Amin, what the different study smart and study hard? Can you explain?
Study hard is more to the straightforward of learning, which is like spending most of their time on books, while study smart is kind of having fun with what you are learning. Lecturers or teacher must know what is in the student mind so we can understand them. So without any complete guidance, students are left at complete loss to do anything. Teachers teach, give them homework, and then the next day the student did not submit it, but instead they got scolded. Why? Some students understand at an instant, but some not. They need to understand the student before they got scolded. Next, students are prohibited to play sport because it can affect to their academics. I do not understand why most parents or teachers do not allow them to have some fun, but instead more focusing on their academics.
Okay. Should the student have some instead of focusing up on their academic? Dr. Izzuddin, Professor, and Dato' Amin?
Okay, in my opinion, yes. They should have fun. They should have fun after studying because it will release their stress. For example, when you read a book and spend some time interpreting, analyzing it, there's nothing wrong with giving yourself a couple of easy hours to watch a film adaptation of it. Provided you take a critical approach to it, there's nothing wrong with calling the session studying. Ask yourself how well you think the film has been cast, whether the film does justice to the book, or what things have changed, and what have remained true to the book, and what have you done differently, and so on.
Okay. On my opinion, of course, yes. They need some activities to release their tension. For example, play football, rugby, tennis or any sports, because it will help them to improve their concentration.
I do not agree with their parents or teachers, but seriously let them have fun so they can develop their mind. Last but not least, Decline in critical thinking affects a person on many levels of their psyche. Like Dr. Izzuddin said, without critical thinking at their earliest age, it will become a problem to them, but also to others.
True indeed, true.
Critical thinking is very important in our daily life. In our daily life to help us resolve problems. For example, when a teacher asks you to do a problem-solving question, if you answer very fast, it means that your critical thinking is good. In this case, the minister should become more firm on the system education in Malaysia. Please, if they want to achieve the wawasan 2020, they change it right now.
I think what you say about the system education in Malaysia is true. So, to conclude our forum, the education in Malaysia, the worsening crisis, they have their ranked in 52 and 60 and 60, right? And 60. We have all the equipment we need, bank like Vietnam with the little resource they have managed to rank 6, right? 6, right? I think. So how fascinated is that? So in the end, the Minister of Education needs to wake up, change to the future of X and Y generation. Before we leave, I would like to thank you for our amazing panelists with the wonderful and powerful speech they have said by coming here. I hope we can make Malaysia a better place for us and for the future.